What's happening, everyone? The other day at the Super Bowl, we received a brand new trailer for the upcoming Marvel movie, Thunderbolts, ***. Now, this has sparked a small bit of controversy around the film, with certain individuals believing that it's hypocritical for people to be excited for Thunderbolts when this movie is the personification of the exact problem that many people, including myself, had with David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Now, if you don't remember, because the movie came out like 10 years ago, God, I feel old. Putting my own mortality aside for a second, in the Suicide Squad, the team was established for the specific purpose of a defense mechanism against a what-if scenario where Superman turned evil.
What if Superman had decided to fly down, rip off the roof of the White House, and grab the President of the United States right out of the Oval Office? Who would have stopped him?
Now, this only becomes a problem when you look at the team itself and you realize the majority of the members are human beings that are just really good at shooting or stabbing things. And that becomes a problem because Superman is virtually indestructible. And it makes you think, well, these people are incapable of fighting Superman. This brings us back to Thunderbolts, because the premise of Thunderbolts is that all of the Thunderbolts are individuals who are just really good at punching and shooting people who are going on a mission to defeat the Marvel Universe's version of Superman. However, I believe Thunderbolts works where Suicide Squad fails due to one very simple thing.
Perspective.
Suicide Squad expects us, the audience, to buy into the fact that the squad is capable of defeating an evil Superman. We are reassured this by seeing Amanda Waller handcraft the team herself, and she's the one who came up with this team for this exact purpose. We have no reason to question her judgment until we meet the team themselves. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Katana, Rick Flag, and Captain Boomerang are all normal human beings that are just really good at shooting something or stabbing something. And if you know anything about Superman, you very well know that will not damage him whatsoever. Then looking at their superpowered individuals on the team, that being Killer Croc and Diablo, they don't stand a chance either. Killer Croc, even though he's durable and super strong, is nowhere near the same weight class as Superman, so he would get bodied. And in regards to Diablo, he is the highest chance member of doing damage against Superman, but not because he's ridiculously overpowered. It's because Diablo is magic-based and Superman is weak to magic. So, you start to question how these people would even do anything if Superman did turn evil right then, right now. And it completely shatters the illusion for the movie, making you go, this is really stupid, why am I watching this? This doesn't make any sense. But in regards to Thunderbolts, that's the point. The movie is self-aware of the fact that the Thunderbolts are not the people you would call for this job. They address it multiple times in the trailer.
There's some big threat out there. And you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
So none of us comply? So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
But why then? Why are they the ones who have to deal with this situation? Who asked them to do this? Well, the reason they have to deal with this is because there's no one left. Elaine from Seinfeld mentions in the trailer that the Avengers are not going to show up to deal with this situation.
The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
And she's right. The Avengers don't exist anymore. After the events of Avengers Endgame, they are disbanded and all doing their own things. Iron Man died, Captain America retired, Black Widow died, Hulk is dealing with his son and his cousin, Hawkeye retired and is dealing with street-level thugs in his free time. Captain Marvel, despite being on Earth, is dealing with the fact that her best friend is trapped in an alternate dimension. Sam just became Captain America and is dealing with his own stuff with Brave New World about to come out. And then the younger cast of heroes, they all have their own shit going on too. No one knows what Shang-Chi is up to. The universe does not remember Spider-Man whatsoever after the events of No Way Home, which, by the way, quick side note, Disney, if you make the fourth Spider-Man movie another crazy, bombastic, multiversal adventure, I'm going to fucking crash out. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Miss Marvel is working with Captain Marvel to figure out what's going on with Photon. Wiccan is off with Agatha trying to figure out where his twin brother is, so on and so forth. The point is, the superheroes of the Marvel Universe right now are all disheveled and disassembled across various different plot lines that they're dealing with. They are not in a position to formulate to deal with a world-ending threat. So, who's left to deal with it? The Thunderbolts are. They're the people that are there as the leftovers. They know they're not the A team. They're the F team on their best day. But the best of the best aren't there, so you have to take the rest. That is what's going on in Thunderbolts, and the movie is self-aware of this, which makes it work so well. This is why people are okay with Thunderbolts rather than they were with Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad asked you to believe that these people are capable of defeating evil Superman, but you knew with common sense, no the fuck they couldn't. But Thunderbolts is telling you these people are ill-equipped to deal with this job of defeating Sentry. Yet, they're gonna do it anyway because they're the only people around who can deal with it. And I think that works so much better. However, that's not the only reason this works over Suicide Squad. Another reason is the fact that Sentry has a built-in mechanism that allows the Thunderbolts the ability to win as opposed to the Suicide Squad. In Suicide Squad, we are given a display of our heroes' capabilities in the movie with them having to defeat the Enchantress and her brother. They're basically evil witch gods. However, where they won due to plot convenience and dumb luck, Thunderbolts has a well-formulated, character-driven narrative that brings up why they're capable of defeating Sentry. But focusing more on Suicide Squad for a second. The way the squad beats the Enchantress is that they shoot her in the heart. However, the movie establishes early on that she is not affected by her heart anymore. At the start of the film, Enchantress is enslaved by Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller has the Enchantress's heart, and whenever she disobeys an order, she stabs the heart, forcing the Enchantress to back down and listen and obey to everything that she has to say. Partway through the movie, the Enchantress disobeys orders, frees her witch brother from an imprisonment, and her brother casts a spell on her that severs her connection to her heart so she doesn't need to be controlled by it anymore. This is when Amanda Waller sends in the Suicide Squad to deal with the Enchantress. But then the movie ends with them shooting the Enchantress in the heart, which then goes, wait a minute, I thought she didn't need that anymore. Because if she was still vulnerable to her heart, why didn't Waller just, I don't know, stab it, blow it up, rip it into a million pieces after she disobeyed orders? What's the point of the end of the movie being, yeah, we could just shoot the heart, if Waller could have just killed her like that when she immediately went off and done her own thing? This doesn't make any sense. This is extremely confusing and really stupid because it feels like the movie got to the point at the end of the movie and they're like, okay, they're not strong enough to beat the Enchantress, so they'll just shoot her in the heart. I mean, that's why she was held at bay at the beginning of the movie, so this'll work now, right? No, it doesn't, because you wrote into the movie that it doesn't work anymore. So going, it does work just so they can win is really goddamn stupid. Yo, editing villain here, and I just needed to address this. I say numerous times in the video that the Suicide Squad defeated the Enchantress by shooting her in the heart, but as I was collecting the clips for this video, I rewatched that scene in Suicide Squad and came to the realization it's actually significantly dumber. They don't shoot the Enchantress in the heart. Rick Flag crushes her heart with his bare hands. So this movie's worse than I even remembered. Just had to make that little addendum given how I address it the rest of the video. So continue on, my friend. But in regards to Thunderbolts, Sentry has a problem with a dissociative identity. Well, not exactly that. Sentry is two people inhabiting the same body. One person being Bob, the good guy who is the Sentry who we met in an earlier trailer.
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
Seems like a well-adjusted, nice enough guy. However, the problem with Sentry is that he has a dark entity inside of him known as the Void. The best comparison I can give to in recent memory is Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji is a good guy with powers that he wants to use to help good people. However, inside of him is Sukuna, the demon lord that wants to destroy everything. That's what Sentry is. The Void wants to just kill people. It's evil and it's inside of him, and he has a constant internal battle to stay in control so the Void doesn't kill people. However, the Void is going to take control and kill a ton of people. We see that in this most recent trailer.
You thought you were gonna be some great savior? You can't even save yourself.
This is the perfect excuse for the Thunderbolts to be able to beat him. because the entire Thunderbolts team are individuals who have dealt with mental issues their entire lives, whether it be PTSD, depression, survivor's guilt, or literally being mind controlled by Nazis. They have the capability of understanding and empathizing with someone going through those mental struggles. So they can empathize and connect with Bob. They can help him fend off the void inside of his own mind because they know what it's like to go through these issues. And this is how they can beat him. It's not going to be a movie about the Thunderbolts having to beat the crap out of Sentry because they're the best of the best with the powers to deal with that. No, they're going to understand the strife that Bob is going through, and they're going to attempt to get to Bob himself and have him take control of his powers and defeat the void from within him. Granted, I am speculating and theorizing this right now, because obviously the movie isn't out yet, I haven't seen it, but I have a strong feeling that that's how the movie's going to end. They're going to appeal to the good in Bob, and that's how they're going to defeat the void. They're not just going to punch the shit out of it, because they can't. The movie explicitly tells you that they're incapable of doing this. They're not the people who are beating the bad guys. That's not who these guys are. So I would be very shocked if the movie just ended with them shooting Sentry and then he dies. I cannot believe that that's how this movie's going to end whatsoever. So, if I end up being wrong, you can come back here, you can yell at me, you can go on my Twitter account, you can yell at me there too. But for the time being, this is how I believe Thunderbolts is going to go. And this makes sense in regards to the setup for the film. So yeah, I'm sorry to, Suicide Squad lovers and DCEU sympathizers, but this complaint doesn't work. Thunderbolts is significantly more well-constructed than Suicide Squad was. It's not asking the audience to believe in the impossible and showing us that there is no logical reason why we should believe in that impossible. It is telling us from the jump, this is an impossible, daunting task that these characters are incapable of dealing with, which turns Thunderbolts into an underdog story, and everyone loves a great underdog story. We're watching a bunch of disheveled, disassociative misfits that are dealing with their own problems, trying to overcome something that they themselves are fully well aware that they are not the ones who are supposed to be dealing with it. As opposed to Suicide Squad going, these are the guys that are supposed to kill evil Superman, but they're also crazy misfits.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. That just flat out fails, and that's why this movie is terrible. But Thunderbolts, I think it's going to be something special. I think it's going to succeed where Suicide Squad failed. Before I let you all go, as you notice, Thunderbolts has a little asterisk next to the title, and I believe it's because they're going to change the name of their team by the end of the movie. And they even bring this up in the trailer that they can't call themselves the Thunderbolts.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
Now, what name are they going to call themselves? Well, I believe they're going to end up being the Dark Avengers by the end of the movie. Now, not because, the Thunderbolts themselves, these characters are the Dark Avengers in the comics, and this is just ripping it straight from the comics and throwing it onto the big screen. That's not what I'm saying. No, I believe they're going to become the Dark Avengers because of who these characters are. Each of these characters was a blemish on one of the Avengers' livelihoods and was an antagonist of some kind, or at the very least, a hidden aspect of their lives in one of their own movies. Yelena, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster are all the hidden part to Black Widow's life. She didn't want anyone knowing that they existed, and she had to deal with them in her own movie. Ghost was the dark side of Hank Pym's life that Scott had to deal with, seeing how she was distorted by Pym particles in the quantum realm, and now that caused her to phase through things, and he had to face off against her. John Walker is a blemish on the mantle of Captain America. He was a Captain America that did wrong by the Shield that now has been brought down to fallen grace, and people want to forget about him because of what he did to this heroic mantle. Bucky was Steve Rogers' best friend who became one of his greatest enemies, corrupted by the same evil organization that they were trying to fight, and became the Winter Soldier. All of these characters are the dark side of the heroes that were on the Avengers, so it makes sense for them to become the Dark Avengers, the blemishes of all of these heroes of light forming together to become a morally ambiguous group of heroes doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing, but are the ones that have to do it anyway. I think that works perfectly. I think that'd be a fantastic... We're not talking about you today. You'll get your time to shine. Go away. Sorry about that. I think we're looking at a fantastic way for that to be the title and new name for this team. But let me know what y'all think. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know, maybe I'm delusional. We'll find out when the movie comes out. But that's my feelings on why Thunderbolts is going to succeed, why Suicide Squad did not, and why they're going to end up being called the Dark Avengers. So, with all that being said, remember, folks, to have a fantastic day. Remember that I am the innocent villain. You're innocent until proven villainous, and I will catch you in the next time. Peace.